Hey, hey. Okay, y'all, I am late. I am late, but only 10 minutes. I didn't push it back, so I'm doing good. Listen, I have finally found my, I don't know. I feel like I finally found some balance, okay, or somewhere where I can balance because, baby, I am all over the place. And sometimes I enjoy being all over the place, and then sometimes not. I need a little bit of structure. And really a lot of structure, but I still need my mind to be able to be all over the place. And that's what reality TV gives me. Okay. That's what it gives me. So I found my niche with this thing. Okay, I'm putting on a little lip gloss for y'all. So my lips won't be dry. So I found my little, rhythm with this thing, and I'm excited about it. So I'm doing my best to make sure I um set a schedule and stick to the schedule. Okay. So I'm so proud of myself. I didn't push this live back because I was supposed to do this live on Friday and I pushed it back. But here I am because Sunday is it's a kind of reset day for most people. I do take clients on Sundays. However, it's still kind of like a pretty slow day at this moment. So this is probably the day that you're going to get most of your lives, and when I try to kind of maybe batch record something like that. Anyway, it's your girl Brandy Janae, and what we are here for today is hey, word on the curb. Yes, now listen, you gonna make sure you subscribe. Let me put my banner up because look, I'm trying to practice these little things. Um, but yes, now listen. Word on the Curve, myself and Word on the Curve. We are going live today at 5 o'clock. We are going to do some hot topics. So make sure you are subscribed to this channel. Make sure you subscribe to Word on the Curve's channel. Okay. So you will not miss our lives. We are also going to be doing a triple collaboration where we will be going live with Housewife from a Housewife, and we are going to be reviewing Real Housewives of Atlanta weekly. Okay. So again, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notification so that you can be notified when we go live. And Real Housewives of Atlanta will take place starting this Wednesday at 6. Yeah. Make sure you subscribe in case that change. Okay. Anyway, what we here to talk about right now, we're about to get into behind the gates, and we're gonna talk a little bit about Karen Huger, and we know she has been sentenced. Oh, 7. Okay, thank you. I thought that's so funny because we just did make sure we said it. And what I do, get right on here and say the wrong time. So it's Wednesdays at 7. Wednesdays at 7. We will be reviewing Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay. Every week, every episode, we are starting this week. It's going to be Sweet 16 and everything in between. So you don't want to miss that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Okay. It's going to be something so cool, so fresh, so new, just like Real Housewives of Atlanta and then new cast coming in. So, anyway, back to what this live is about. Okay. Beyond the Gates, honey. Beyond the Gates. Who is watching Beyond the Gates? Make sure you drop down in the comments. Let me know if you got a chance to watch Beyond the Gates, if you got it on your DVR, waiting to catch up. Listen, I have to give my mom credit, okay? Because I'm going to tell you what, for some reason, now I'm 44 years old. So I've come from a time where, we only had 5 channels to look at. Okay. So, I am a soap opera girly. Let me tell you, One Life to Live and all my children, honey. And don't you know, oh, everybody loved them some Erica Kane. Ain't that the truth? So, and look, when I was in high school, y'all, I used to record the because all my children came on at like 12, and One Life to Live came on right behind it at 1. Of course, I'm in school. So I used to set the VCR so I could record it and then come home from school and watch it. Okay, so I am General Hospital, Word on the Curve. Yeah. Now let me tell you about General Hospital, honey. That's my mama's show. General Hospital, baby, they storyline move. I was just like, oh my God, they got so much going on. While all of them had a lot going on, General Hospital was just too much for my young little brain at the time. Okay. So I'm saying that to say, y'all, I am a soap opera girly. But as far as CBS is concerned, as a network, I seem to not deviate to a lot of shows that come from CBS, and it's no reason in particular. I guess I just somehow, I don't know. I just don't navigate to any of the shows. So my mom is the one who kind of got the hype going because she's super excited about the African American cast and having them kind of be the focal point of the family. I mean, excuse me, of the soap opera. And so she kept telling me as it was coming up last week, because Monday it aired, was the first, this was the first week. So she kept saying, like, oh my God, I can't wait. I'm so excited. So luckily enough, I don't have I stream most things. So luckily enough, I have Paramount, and Beyond the Gates is available on Paramount same day. Now, I'm not really sure what time Behind the Gates airs, right? I'm not really sure what time Behind the Gates airs. However, I know that I am generally able to look at it same day on Paramount by 6 o'clock in the evening. So I'll say about 6 o'clock in the evening, it's available on Paramount for you to go ahead and stream and watch. You don't watch that network either? Yeah. And like I say, it's no reason in particular. I just noticed that I don't seem to deviate to any of the shows, whether it's reality TV. I think that I watched one season of Celebrity Big Brother, and I'm not even sure if it was Candy season. Maybe it was Candy season because she was on there with Tamar, and I think maybe I tuned in just to see if that was going to be something, but it's not for the interest of what they have going on the show. Sorry, CBS, but I know it's a lot of people that do like it, so hey. Okay, back. So, like I said, I have to give my mom credit for just kind of hyping it up and really kind of getting me excited. So once I figured out I was going to be able to watch it daily on Paramount, I watched the first episode. I took some notes because I knew I was going to get on here and at least talk to y'all about it, see how y'all like this, see what you got going on. And as I watched throughout the week, I found myself getting more and more excited. And not just for the nostalgia of bringing back a soap opera, right? And not just for the fact of it being an African American cast, which both of those things are awesome and A plus. So I'm not knocking it, okay? But listen, we have gone into this area of watching reality TV while I'm here. And what we forgot about the stories, which is what my mom called them, or soap operas. What we forgot about that is, they have seasons I guess, in retrospect to the way that they have to keep track of what they're doing. However, soap opera is coming on every week. I mean, I'm sure the actors are very happy for even being able to book a soap opera just because, yeah, it's such a steady job outside of if you get, okay, well, anyway, for us as the viewers, we're going to have a constant storyline going every week. The stories come on no matter what. They don't go off because it's awards season. They don't go off because it's spring. They don't go, now, like I say, the storylines change and the characters may change. You have a revolving door that way, but it keeps you so in tune from week to week. And I'm really excited about having something that I can get back into like this, because I don't watch NBC. I think Days of Our Lives come on NBC, right? And then Bold and the Beautiful. Did they get canceled? Because I think that was CBS. So maybe that's where Beyond the Gates is coming in. Anyway, anywho, do I like Beyond the Gates? Yes. In case that wasn't clear. Yes, I do. I'm excited about it. I also want to do a live maybe every evening where we can just talk about what's going on, because again, them storylines moving. So let me tell you what I know about it, okay? I'm going to give you what I know, just a synopsis, see how you doing. I mean, not see how you're doing, but see where you at with it. Okay. So we have learned who the first family is. Okay. And let me point this out, because I was watching a live with Millie Chan. And she was talking about Beyond the Gates really quickly on her hot topics. And she mentioned the mentioning of being able to watch a soap opera from its origin, because again, those soap operas I mentioned that I watched so faithfully, of course I inherited from my own mother, and grandmother, because that's what was playing in the house during the day, and so yeah, I ended up becoming a teenager and watching the same thing. And again, we didn't have that many channels to choose from at that time. Listen, I'm not a dinosaur, but it is what it is. Uh, so to be, and so what I'm saying with that is, by the time I'm watching, everything is already going on, like Adam Chandler, remember him and his twin Stewart, oh my goodness. But all of the backstory of what's going on and these feuds between families and different things like that, it was just kind of happening already. And this is a time for us to be able to get an origin of, okay, who this family is, the branches of it, and how all the different drama comes into play. And listen, okay, so this is the first family, y'all. This is the first family. So the city, or I guess, is it the city or state? City, state, I don't I'm getting confused, but it's centered in Maryland, which is why we see Karen Huger has a cameo also in this first in one of the episodes this first week. Anyhow, so it's centered in Maryland. Fairmont Crest is the community. So behind the gates, kind of similar to how Real Housewives of Orange County got started, as far as being aspirational, right? And it was supposed to be about housewives that live beyond the gates, okay? That's why, beyond the gates is kind of exactly what that means, is that there's this community that's gated. And so it's about the people who are beyond, inside of those gates, right? So it's a community. This is the family. We see mom and dad. Those are the Duprees, and then the two ladies on the side are their daughters. Okay, we have. Let me pull up my notes really quick, guys, because again, it's the first week, and until I get to talking about them a little more, I'm gonna have to refer to my notes about everybody's name. Danny is the one with the middle part. Okay, Danny is recently divorced from her husband of, I'm thinking, about 30 years, something like that. She has a daughter. And then we have Dr. Richardson. Her first name is in Nicole, Natalie, something like that. But I know she's a doctor. Dr. Richardson is her name. And so she is the other daughter. She's married. She has one daughter. I think they both have one daughter. No. I'm wrong. I am wrong. Danny has two daughters. Okay. Danny has two daughters, and Dr. Richardson has one daughter. Okay, there we go. And so that's kind of where they sit in at. Now let me pull up this. Look like the Brady Bunch, right? That's what it reminded me of. Okay, so you see we have matriarch, patriarch. Okay, let's Dupree. So it's the Dupree family that's running things, or that started running things up in well, I was about to say Fairmont Crest. And so now, who are the other players, right? We have the young man down to the bottom right. That is Danny's ex-husband. Okay, that is who she is recently divorced from. He is getting married to her best friend, close friend, who she took in on the town when the lady moved in and she didn't know nobody, and she took that lady under her wings, girl, and she brought her into her circle of friends and introduced her to a new way of life, honey. And this man went ahead and had an affair with that lady, and now they are getting married. Okay, that is what is going on. Let me tell you, they are bringing the pain. Now, the young man over here, this little chocolate young man, and his picture is, I can't remember who he is right now. I can't remember who he is right now. But it'll come to me as we talk more about some of the things that's happening through the episode. So again, this first week has not let us down in soap opera history or in soap opera style fashion. Okay, so we got the drama, we have the family, and what I also love about it is some of the conversations we hear them having. It's not just all of these fluff conversations. You can hear somebody kind of being, I'm thinking, a little intentional about maybe sneaking these little like messages in, like important messages. So you like I say, it doesn't seem like fodder. Anyhow, I kind of picked up on that. So somebody trying to, kind of throw in a little education, a little therapy while they doing, playing in the mud. Okay. So like I said, we got the morality family, or the matriarch and patriarch family. And then we have the two daughters, and we have their families. Okay. So now, Danny is divorced from her husband, right? Danny is divorced from her husband, and she is having a hard time with it. Okay, so that's what we've all finding out in this first week. Also, of course, storylines move. So by the end of the week, baby, we at the wedding, and it's a whole we got a cliffhanger already, baby. The gun go off at the doggone wedding. Excuse me, the pow go off at the wedding, child, and Danny seemed to be behind it. So we got our first mystery already. Also, honey, now Dr. Richardson, she didn't hire a new assistant because somebody done ran her assistant off the road. Okay. Some lady we saw, and we found out that lady, hold on real quick, y'all. There we go. I got it. We found out that lady, okay, is the one who behind it, because she has a daughter whose daddy is Dr. Richardson's husband. That's who that man is. See, I told y'all it'll come back to me. That's who that man is in that picture. That's who that brown skinned man is in that picture. Let me pull it back up. That's who that man is. That's right. That is Dr. Richardson's husband. The lady, Dr. Richardson, is on one side. That brown-skinned man on the other side, that's her husband. And he has also fathered an illegitimate child that it seems like he don't know about, and we know she don't know about, because they walking around talking about how they got this great marriage. Okay, so we got all of the it's going on in Beyond the Gates. All right. So like I said, she done ran the assistant off the road. Then she done worked some way for her friend who works for Dr. Richardson, who knows that her assistant is down and out, honey, in the hospital, because she ain't gonna be able to work in her assistant job. And so she so politely nudges her friend to say, like, well, my daughter's looking for a job. Why don't you maybe see if she can do something there? So we know what's about to come in the future. Okay. So again, we end at the end of the week with our cliffhanger. Danny has lost all her marbles, and that was not after showing up at that man's office. He's a lawyer. She showed up at that man's office, and she pleaded her case, honey. She begged that man, like, you don't have to marry her. We can go back to our happy life. And he's like, I am so sorry. Nobody's home. Okay, nobody's home without getting married. Kick that lady out his office, and she ain't had nothing. She didn't even have her dignity left. So that's how did she end up at the wedding? I bet is what you're guessing, right? How did she even end up at the wedding? Well, something is going on with the daddy and the mama. They done got themselves into something, and we, the viewers, haven't quite figured that out yet. They ain't quite revealed that just yet. But whatever it is, oh boy know about it. The ex-husband, he know about it. So what he did so that he can be accepted in the community, because he also bought a home inside the gates as well. So what he did was basically blackmail her daddy, like to make the family come and show up to the wedding, because if they show up to the wedding, then the community will, see that they are all getting along and everything is fine. And poor Danny, honey, she is coming apart at the seams, because when back at the first episode, when we first got introduced to Miss Danny, she was throwing mugs at the wall. Okay, so he didn't blackmail the daddy into forcing the family to come and show up, which in turn forces everybody else in the community to show up. And so that's how they got to the wedding. But then he brought her a little extra something, because that man was not trying to hear it in that law office. Mm-hmm. So anyhow, this is going to get us right on to the next episode. To the next topic. Okay, before I get up out of here, don't forget to subscribe to this video. Don't forget to like it. If you are still here, you should like it. Okay. But it's going to stream us right into our Karen Huger story. Okay. Because don't you know Karen Huger made her an appearance on the show, girl? Yes, she did. Look at this. There she go. Because again, soap opera is soap opera ring. Okay, like they giving us. We had the first slap, all of that. Okay, all of it is all this week. You can find it. But yeah, here go Miss Karen Huger, honey. What she told her, welcome to Fairmont, Chris. Okay, girl. I bet that was the look on her face when that judge told her, welcome to Correction Centers of Maryland. I don't know if that's what it's called. I'm just being facetious. But yeah, I can just imagine that that's the look she had on her face, honey, when that man told her she was going to have to spend a whole year behind jail. Now, after she done went this, now, do we realize that it being March 2nd right now, today, that we are literally like just 2 weeks from a whole year that this debacle Karen has gotten herself in has been going on. And the whole time this has been going on, Karen has not she has not given any accountability. Now, these are some of the thoughts I've had this past week as things have come out. Thanks to Kim Pyre, I was able to listen in on the recording from Karen's court sentencing, where the judge, when he was sentencing her, he gave her a very stern tongue lashing, in addition to spending a year in jail, in addition to being taken into custody right then and there. Again, I know this the look she had on her damn face, honey. I know that lady thought she was going to have some time to be able to get home and get her affairs in order. I sure hope she had a few in order before she left. But the way she acted, I can't imagine she did. The way she has been presenting herself, I cannot imagine that she figured out any way to have certain things in order to move for her. Okay, like her social media, she's not thinking about that because she's too busy, like really deflecting. And what's interesting about the deflection in her statement, so thanks to Kim Pyre, we was able to hear the recording of even her statement. Now, I did not screenshot it. I might can pull it up if I get a few more people in, we can pull it up. The wig was wigging, honey. Yes, she got to go a whole year without her wig, baby. And I'm trying to tell you, I know, baby, that look. I know she said, "Who, honey? Who got to go?" What? But yeah, maybe I'll pull it up on my phone and we can listen to it. Otherwise, I'll make sure to go back in the description and I'll tag Kim Pyre's handle. You can go and listen. I like listening to Kim Pyre. He is very open about his opinions and everything. So I just like the information he gets out to us. So yes, Kempire is another great one. And also, just piggybacking off of Kempire, he makes a good point when he is telling everybody about liking the video that they're watching. Make sure that you like it, because if you do like this type of content, not just for myself, but it'll help you get other content creators that have some similar topics and things. Okay. That's another good thing about Kempire. Kempire does all pop culture. Right here, right now, I'm just doing housewives, reality TV, show reviews, things like that. So that's another reason why when you like my video, you'll get other things, and then you'll get open to some other subject matters and things. Okay, that's cool. Cool. We understand each other. But yeah, back to Karen. Listen, I just know she was ready to pass out. When that man said, yeah, honey, no. But he gave her a really good stern tongue lashing. I think that it was appropriate. I do not think that he was trying to overly use Karen as an example. I think once even the public, got a little more of the facts, not just from their body cam, because that body cam was so damning. And he even said, yeah, that's what did it, for the simple fact that she what do you call it? She refused the breathalyzer or any blood work, so that would be the only way that they would be able to confirm her whether she was intoxicated or not. However, because she refused that, and then there's body cam, the body cam did what it needed to do. And we all saw that as the public. And while we did have fun with the videos, and maybe it is still something to that, maybe there's more to the story, and maybe we won't get that until the year is over. We'll see. But even though we had the conversations about there being somebody else with her, we're looking to see more about that conversation take place on Real Housewives of Potomac in the Reunion Part 3 episode tonight. However, this seems a bit extreme for a person that is at the age that she's at, and kind of putting herself in this position, for the protection of this person that we're just assuming, that she is being truthful about in her drunken stupor, and I'm just calling it that because that's what it was. So it's kind of like, on one end, like, is there any truth to somebody that's doing that? Now, I know the old saying say, what they say, a drunk soul speak a sober mind. But no, I don't think she was speaking anything that was sobering that evening. I think everything she had to say, even those little droppings of Andy Cohen's name, wrong. You know what I mean? Do you know who I am? Wrong. They even have a video, honey, of the cameraman outside the courthouse, honey, like talking about who they there to try to find, catch coming out, which unfortunately they never saw her coming out, honey, because she went right on to the back. Like I said, I know, listen, this right here. Her last words out the courthouse to Ray is, I love you, Ray. God's got you. You will be okay. That is being reported as her last words as she was being taken into custody. We are going to keep Karen in our prayers here. Of course, it is never something we want to see anybody go to jail, and especially one of our own. Thanks, hon. And especially, just at her age, you know what I mean? She, is of a mature age. And listen, it's got to be a lot to have to go through this. And I don't know, I don't think she's going to end up as some like cupcake thing, because this is not a federal offense. Federally, you'll go to those types of, I don't know, upscale cupcake prisons, or camp cupcake, or camp like. And going back to the judge giving her that tongue lashing, about this being her fourth DUI. So I really feel like after listening to that judge, if he could have given her more time, he would have. He really just only had 2 years to give her. She has to do 5 years probation. She cannot drive for 1 year after she is released from prison. She can't drive for 1 year. Once she is allowed to drive, she has to install a device. I don't remember the exact term, but the device in which you have to blow to start up your car. She will have to insert that onto her car. Now, here's the thing. Oddly enough, it seems to me that she should have had a driver, and maybe at some point she did. And maybe that's why these 4 DUIs are kind of spanned out over this maybe 15-year point or so. But it seems to me that clearly whoever was in the car on that evening um, was not hired legally and was not there, because I would think that if you used any type of driving service, I I think there would be a different way that you would handle something like that. So I don't know, unfortunately, like say for Karen, she is going to have to learn a lesson, and it's going to be a expensive lesson. It's going to be a costly lesson, more than just financial. It's going to cost her. And I'll quote Steve Harvey. I remember him saying this on his morning show years and years and years ago, honey, that the best lesson is the paid lesson, and we're not talking about financial payments, even though those that can be an expensive lesson as well. Like the same lesson can be costly financially. But when we think about finances, right, and your money, is that that's something you're able to get back. Not to say it's always easy. So if something costs you 5, 10 grand and you work to pay it, I'm not telling you that it's so easy to get that 5, 10 grand back again. But what I am saying is you can probably see it again faster than any lesson that costs you your time. Like this. Teresa Judice would be an example of what I mean. I think the demise of her and Joe's relationship was due to having to go to jail, and not just because in her case it happened to be her husband that kind of landed her there, but it was because of the loss she had to deal with her mom, and the fact that she had to do that year away, and it took the time that she would have had with her mom if she wasn't there. And so time is the most expensive thing we have as humans, because you can't duplicate it. You can't go back and do it over, and you won't get it back. Once it's gone, it's gone. And so when those lessons that cost you time like that, they should serve as eye openers in some way, shape, or form. So, like I said, I know a lot of our conversations online surrounding Karen Huger is about her not taking accountability, her not being humble, her kind of still going on with this grand dame, persona. We saw it with Luann. Luann had to humble herself and let go of that countess title. And she had to, I feel like it happened naturally for her. She held on to it for a long time, but naturally she realized that, yeah, it was time, because even in that time frame, she was not behaving as that. And I think Karen needs to really just have a heart to heart with herself, because even as the public, let's just be clear. Karen doesn't owe us anything. Like, she really doesn't. She can be so embarrassed and so ashamed that she decides that she is never coming back on Real Housewives of Potomac again. Yes, honey, it's a precious commodity, and we're gonna talk more about that at 5 because we're doing our hot topics and we have, some celebrities that we have to send our respects to and talk about. And again, letting Angie Stone just performed just last night. I just saw a video. She was like, that was just a few hours ago, and yeah, it's that. And so, like I said, that's more morbid of a way of time that I'm speaking about. But even with this, that's what I mean. The best lessons really are expensive, and the most expensive thing that lesson costs you is your time. So again, like I say, going back to Karen doesn't owe us anything. Like, yeah, she's on the show. Yeah, we watched her. Yeah, we are connected to her story. We're connected to the presentation she gives us. But in all actuality, she doesn't owe it to us to give us anything. She never wants to take accountability. The truth of the matter is that she doesn't have to, right? Who are we, right? That's probably what she's telling herself all while she's being quiet. But going back to what I was saying about her not really being accountable about the situation she was in with her own self. And see, that's the dangerous type. That's the most dangerous type of maybe delusion, or even I don't know if a liar would be the right word to place on Karen in this case, but definitely delusion. And that is a dangerous way type of delusion, is when you believe your own delusions. And I think that is what we saw Karen really portraying, is that she believed her own delusions. I think that going back to this body cam and this being her 4th DUI, and I believe somebody else may have mentioned it in a live that I watched. So I don't know if this is all my idea, but I do think that Karen feeling like she would be vindicated, I think she believes that. And the reason why she believed it is probably because back when she received the last DUI and anyone before that, there wasn't body cam, right? So you refuse a breathalyzer, you refuse blood testing, and then you take that case to a trial because you know that there's not a way to prove what the intoxication level is. That's the reason why. That is what people tell you. That's the reason why. Same with the Miranda rights. What they tell you right in the Miranda rights is anything you say and do can and will be used against you. Same. So it's like you don't want to give somebody evidence to, prosecute you. So with that being said, she just really lived in her own delusion, lived in her delusion of who she was. Probably those previous DUIs that she called, she probably had a prestigious um, reputation, and probably did have connections to people who were able to help her out. And it just didn't go because everybody's luck run out. What's the old saying the old folks say? Every dog has a day. And I'm not calling Karen a dog. I'm just saying proverbially, every dog has their day. And so you only get away with certain stuff for a certain amount of time. And at 4 DUIs, I would think that this is a great time at her age, at the level of recourse that she's going to have to deal with because of this. I would think that this is the time that she needs to get honest with herself. Like I said, it ain't no point in trying to prove nothing to us, because we don't really matter. It is entertainment. This is your life, girl, and now you are in jail. And for you to blame that on your leadership role at Real Housewives of Potomac, what I'm confused about is, so drop down in the comments and let me know. With that being said, she did use that as like kind of a reason for her mixing antidepressants with alcohol. But I'd like to know what your take is about that. Like, are we buying that? Or is that kind of an invitation? We already know that Real Housewives of Potomac will film, and they will yeah, film without her, as they should, as they should. Um, I think what we all forget about Teresa Giudice in that case, because filming did pause until she got out of jail. But it's two things very important with Real Housewives of New Jersey at that moment in time. At that moment in time, the things that was going on with Teresa, that was her life. And even though she was playing these games with having interviews, come out and not talking to her castmates, like that was the game she was playing for the reality TV, but everything that was going on was really her real life. And so everything, kind of like Love and Marriage Huntsville with Mel and Martell, that Mel and Martell of it all, everything that happened on the show, whether it was fights with other castmates or what have you, it all really centered around Teresa and what was going on with Teresa. So it made very much sense that they would cease filming until it was time to film her getting out of jail, because again, everything really had surrounded Teresa. And so they had to wait for her. But in this case, Karen spent this whole year really just denying that anything happened at all. I think she spent the last 2 months telling herself that she would get out of it. And so now here we are. So yeah, they're going to film without her, rightfully so, but blaming her antidepressant use on her leadership role at Real Housewives of Potomac, is that an invitation to get a pink slip? Is that an invitation to not be invited back? Do we want to see Karen back? Do we think this is good for her? As viewers, again, she can do whatever she want to do. She grown. I don't write contracts. However, my personal opinion is that she probably needs to eat this a little bit more. I think as I've watched reality TV, as I've watched a lot of these things unfold, going back to Teresa and going to jail, she was one of the first housewives that even had this public type of case federally, and accused of fraud. And I mean, and at that time frame, it was huge because she was just a housewife. And even though the Bravo universe is big to the Bravo universe, right? It's not that great in the grand scheme of like talking about Us Weekly and People Magazine. Today People Magazine has their own section of online news stories in which they cover the housewife stories. That all started with Teresa, honestly. And maybe a little bit of Nene, but same. But you know what I mean? Going back to, she was kind of the first housewife that had such this level of legal trouble outside of something like this. But yeah, Karen. I wonder what she doing today, y'all. Like, you think, I don't know, y'all think she's still crying in her cell? Like, y'all, what do y'all think she doing? I think I heard on so Kempire has, I cannot, Toraya, I think her name has a guest that she went to the courthouse and he had on a couple days ago, and she was it her? I think that was kind of saying some of the guidelines that Karen can expect, like how many visits she can have per week. And I'm sorry I brought that up because now it's blanking. I can't even remember what the answers to that was. But yeah, it's funny that I thought about Karen this week also, just kind of like, man, that was just a turn for the worse. Like, let me just put that picture back up again. Because, when I talk about that, this is what I feel. Like, what? I know Karen was like, no God. And again, I feel like she was just so accepting of the position she put herself in, that she didn't get her things in order, that she didn't handle her business, because there's a way for her to still kind of figure her way financially through this, but everything else she's just gonna have to do. And I do think that personally, I think that Karen does just see this particular thing as something she has to get through, and not really seeing this as something that she not just has to get through, but she might want to, take some self accountability, not just accountability, self inventory. That is the word. She wants to take self inventory. Okay. Um, Yes, Karen was used to a slap on the wrist. Yeah. And like I say, I don't think, back in that time, there wasn't any body cam. People don't think about that now today, is that these things that didn't exist, 10, 15 years ago, that's not the case anymore. There is body cam. And maybe maybe you should play that a little bit different, but the judge wasn't here for it. He wasn't having it. Again, I didn't think he was being rude. I didn't think he was being out of line. I think he was stern, and I think that Karen needed that, because even in her statement, there was not any accountability about her, just really thinking that she would like. I think I would say, like, if I could, I would make a different decision, and that's something that we haven't heard her say. And again, we don't know why, because we are going to hear them talk about the fact that there could possibly have been another person in the car, another person who was driving. But I just don't understand why somebody at this age, why that would be something that we're talking about. But again, everything doesn't make sense. I watch a lot of investigation discovery. Of course, we don't know why half the people on those places do the things they do, even though they tell us in those crime shows. Okay. But it's just kind of like, you just be like, what? So same with Karen, it's just like, who knows? Like she possibly could be protecting somebody. Um, but that's it. She needs to take some self inventory about that. Yeah, because what could be so bad that's worse than this, that you would need to protect that information, or try to protect that information from getting out, because the old folks tell you everything done in the dark come to the light. Okay, listen. So, I don't know, an affair, like even an affair and that type of thing. I don't think any of those things would warrant this. But listen, prayers to Karen. I mean, this too shall pass. That's the advice that I have for Karen. Take some self inventory, and this too shall pass. And don't be so naive any other time. And hopefully, this is the last time that she will get behind the wheel intoxicated. Hopefully, this is the last time, maybe, that she is intoxicated. Maybe, hopefully, that was the last time, or whenever her last time was the last time. But yeah, we go pour a little out for her, huh? Is that what we do for the people? No, that's that's the people. Say, we ain't ready for that. Not yet. We ain't ready for that. But yeah, so that's all I got for y'all. Listen, go watch Beyond the Gates. I am going to be doing reviews. I do want to, like I said, I want to do something where I'm doing it every evening, because I don't know if it's too much for me to hold all and wait until once a week. I don't know. Maybe as y'all watching Replay Gang, get down in the comments and kind of tell me what you're thinking. But I was wanting to do like a daily one, just so I can basically hold myself accountable. Okay, while we talking about holding Karen accountable, people, that's one thing I did want to get out there also. Like I said, we hold Karen accountable, talking about how she's behaving and what she should do. But sometimes we have to look at ourselves and ask ourselves, like, self, are you being accountable? Are you, doing everything you're supposed to be doing? So part of it is that for me, I want to grow my channel. Like I said, I found my little like space, I think, that I'm comfortable with. And I'm finding my space here in the YouTube universe. And I am wanting to challenge myself to be more consistent about it, and to be more intentional about it, because it is something that I want to take serious. I don't want to do it just as a hobby. It is something that I want to be able to build a community, what YouTube is for. And so I need to hold myself accountable for the things that I can do in order to aid that. Okay. Now, I hope that was a message for somebody out there. Replay gang. If you caught it, put it in the comments, okay? Because that's not just for me, that's for all of y'all on this good Sunday, okay? On this good Sunday, ask yourself, self, how can I be better? Okay? While you over here judging everybody else, okay? On my page. I know I'm judging too, but that's why I gotta that's why I gotta give you a little something to put it back, because I gotta put it back on myself too. Okay. That's the point in this. And that's what we're gonna do here at this channel. All right. We're gonna judge and we're gonna be accountable. Okay, we're gonna do both. I'm a Gemini. We doing both. All right. You want me to be nice, sweet, or sour? When you get with me, you're gonna get both. Okay. Now what you get depends on you. All right. You come sour, I'm coming back sour. But yeah, I can be either. And that's the same with my point of view. That's the same with the channel I'm growing. So again, if you like this video, go see some other videos. I got so much coming up. Drop down in the comments. Let me know if you are watching Beyond the Gates. If you would like to maybe have a live every day of the week, Monday through Friday for Beyond the Gates. If we would like it to be once a week, probably on a Sunday for Beyond the Gates. What works better for you as you are subscribing and liking this video? Let me know what works better. Also, you can catch me Mondays with Housewife Azara from Housewives with the Housewives from a Housewife. Okay, we do live recaps on Mondays. That is for Real Housewives of Potomac and Married to Medicine. Of course, Real Housewives of Potomac is on its third part reunion tonight, and next Sunday we will get the season 16 premiere of Real Housewives of Atlanta. You can catch another collab from Real Housewives of Atlanta. And let me tell y'all why I'm so excited about this second collab about Real Housewives of Atlanta. Of course, Real Housewives of Atlanta is the golden child to the Housewives franchise, #1. But what I love about this collab, you're going to get 3 different points of views from people that look like us, okay? You're going to get 3 different points of views, and you're going to get 3 different like generations of what the point of view is. And I think for Real Housewives of Atlanta, especially going into this season, we're not knowing what to expect. I think that is a great way to start a discussion about the season, because I really don't have any expectations. And when you join us Wednesday, March 5th at 7 o'clock, you are going to find out all of what we think about this upcoming season, and we're going to talk about everything in between, all the things that we miss and the things that are of yesteryear, because we are moving into a new phase, a new season. It's getting younger, honey. It's getting more thottier, honey, and it's getting messier. And then, so like I said, it'll be myself, Housewife Azara from Housewives from a Housewife, and then we will have Angela joining us from Word on the Curve. Thank you so much, Word on the Curve, for dropping down in the comments. Of course, I am so glad that I have found these 2 ladies to co-host these types of reviews with. Let me tell you, in addition to my mom kind of doing her thing over there in the Facebook space, it kind of gave me some new motivation to get over and to be intentional. Before, I was just doing stuff just to do it, not really putting a lot of train of thought, not really even thinking out direction. But this is, like I said, I found my little space. I want to carve my space. I wanted to represent me. So if I seem all over the place, it's not an act, y'all. I'm all over the place. I'm a Gemini. What? That's what you love about me. That's what you love about all Geminis. Because we got it together, but we all over the place, all at the same time. That's the best of being a Gemini. You get the best of both worlds. Chaos and order. Chaos and order. I try to be more orderly than chaotic, though, because I operate better in order. And I think most of us does, right? Most of us just do. Anyhow, but I'm so glad to have found them so that we can talk about my favorite topic, because I'm telling you, I could talk about housewives for hours. And this has given me the space to be able to do so. And I have found 2 people who like housewives as much as I do, because that was a challenge too, baby. None of my friends really like them housewives. So I was always like, who can I talk to about this? My cousin opened up her own business, honey, and she's been busy ever since. Thank you, Jesus, but we ain't been able to talk about the housewives. Okay. Anyway, so yeah. Join us, subscribe to this channel, okay? I will be making sure I link my other 2 co-hosts in the descriptions. Again, Mondays, myself, Housewives from a Housewife, Real Housewives of Potomac, and Married to Medicine. On Wednesday evening, 7 o'clock, myself, Word on the Curb, and Housewives from a Housewife will be having an introduction into Real Housewives of Atlanta, Sweet 16, and everything in between. I'm so excited about that because, yeah, I'm just excited. Like, listen, I'm gonna give y'all this little tidbit. I have no expectations for the upcoming episode season of Real Housewives of Atlanta, and simply because the last 2 seasons were just not good to me. And so, hey, honey. And so I just don't have an expectation because I don't want to be let down. But I'm kind of excited to see like this fresh haul, because it feels like outside of Cynthia and Phaedra, feels like they're kind of ushering in this younger audience. Maybe that's who they are marketing or trying to target. I don't know, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see how it go. We're gonna see how it go. Chaos and order. Yes, girl. Get them both. Okay, get them both. Both. Ask my kids. They know. Mm-hmm. So yes, guys. Yes, guys. You see, thank y'all for y'all support. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We're going live with hot topics. Myself, Word on the Curb, this evening at 5. So that's in about 2 hours. Get your little nap in, do your dishes. What I gotta do? I don't know. I probably gotta get something done around here. And then Wednesday for Real Housewives of Atlanta, and every Wednesday following that. So Real Housewives will air on Monday, and all 3 of us will be coming back for the Real Housewives recap on Wednesday evening. So that gives you plenty of time to have watched. And you won't get too many spoiler alerts, unless if you ain't watched by Wednesday, you ain't trying to watch Real Housewives of Atlanta, okay? You just trying to listen to us. And if you've been here this long, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and like the video. All right, y'all, I'm gonna get out of here, okay? Karen, keep your head up. Keep your head up, Karen. Okay? We're gonna hold it down out here in these streets for you. Do better. And y'all go watch Beyond the Gates. I'm loving it. I am. I'm loving it. And I'm excited about it. So go watch it. And I'm out, okay? Catch me at 5. Bye.